A point tonight will put Bournemouth top of the league this evening. Tune in from 5:30. They say you shouldn't change a winning formula. Well, it's Barnsley versus Bournemouth in Championship action tonight, and Valérien Ismaël makes no changes for the home side that beat Birmingham away from home on Tuesday night. As for Bournemouth, Jason Tindall makes 2 changes following the defeat against Preston in midweek. Sam Surridge's goal in that game earns him a start at the expense of Rodrigo Riquelme. Also swapping into the starting 11 is Phil Billing. He's filling in for Junior Stanislas, who finds himself on the bench. A point tonight will put Bournemouth top of the league this evening. Tune in from 5:30. They say you shouldn't change a winning formula. Well, it's Barnsley versus Bournemouth in Championship action tonight, and Valérien Ismaël makes no changes for the home side that beat Birmingham away from home on Tuesday night. As for Bournemouth, Jason Tindall makes 2 changes following the defeat against Preston in midweek. Sam Surridge's goal in that game earns him a start at the expense of Rodrigo Riquelme. Also swapping into the starting 11 is Phil Billing. He's filling in for Junior Stanislas, who finds himself on the bench. A point tonight will put Bournemouth top of the league this evening. Tune in from 5:30. They say you shouldn't change a winning formula. Well, it's Barnsley versus Bournemouth in Championship action tonight, and Valérien Ismaël makes no changes for the home side that beat Birmingham away from home on Tuesday night. As for Bournemouth, Jason Tindall makes 2 changes following the defeat against Preston in midweek. Sam Surridge's goal in that game earns him a start at the expense of Rodrigo Riquelme. Also swapping into the starting 11 is Phil Billing. He's filling in for Junior Stanislas, who finds himself on the bench. A point tonight will put Bournemouth top of the league this evening. Tune in from 5:30. They say you shouldn't change a winning formula. Well, it's Barnsley versus Bournemouth in Championship action tonight, and Valérien Ismaël makes no changes for the home side that beat Birmingham away from home on Tuesday night. As for Bournemouth, Jason Tindall makes 2 changes following the defeat against Preston in midweek. Sam Surridge's goal in that game earns him a start at the expense of Rodrigo Riquelme. Also swapping into the starting 11 is Phil Billing. He's filling in for Junior Stanislas, who finds himself on the bench. A point tonight will put Bournemouth top of the league this evening. Tune in from 5:30. They say you shouldn't change a winning formula. Well, it's Barnsley versus Bournemouth in Championship action tonight, and Valérien Ismaël makes no changes for the home side that beat Birmingham away from home on Tuesday night. As for Bournemouth, Jason Tindall makes 2 changes following the defeat against Preston in midweek. Sam Surridge's goal in that game earns him a start at the expense of Rodrigo Riquelme. Also swapping into the starting 11 is Phil Billing. He's filling in for Junior Stanislas, who finds himself on the bench. A point tonight will put Bournemouth top of the league this evening. Tune in from 5:30. They say you shouldn't change a winning formula. Well, it's Barnsley versus Bournemouth in Championship action tonight, and Valérien Ismaël makes no changes for the home side that beat Birmingham away from home on Tuesday night. As for Bournemouth, Jason Tindall makes 2 changes following the defeat against Preston in midweek. Sam Surridge's goal in that game earns him a start at the expense of Rodrigo Riquelme. Also swapping into the starting 11 is Phil Billing. He's filling in for Junior Stanislas, who finds himself on the bench. A point tonight will put Bournemouth top of the league this evening. Tune in from 5:30. Well, hello and welcome to this off-tube independent studio commentary of Barnsley versus Bournemouth. I'm Cameron Pope. I'm going to be taking you through this evening's actions. We start another game week of Championship football. A good match-up today between a side middling and even doing better than expectations against a side who will have aspirations of returning to the big time at the earliest possible opportunity. And it's Barnsley, the hosts, who get us underway with a quick throw down the left flank, having won the ball back straight away from kickoff, and Bournemouth will fish it clear. Comes out to halfway. I'll give you those sides in a minute as we sit through this Barnsley attack, and in fact I can tell you that's going to come sooner rather than later, as a long ball has come forward from Herbie Kane and gone out for a Bournemouth goal kick. So I'll run through the sides for you now, starting with the home sides. The tight line up as follows. Jack Walton is in goal, a back three of Michael Solbauer, Mikael Helik and Mads Juhl Andersen. In midfield, they're going to go out wide right with Callum Britton. Inside him is Alex Mowat, Herbie Kane, Callum Styles. In front of those two, we've got Victor Adebayojo and Connor Chaplin up front on his own. With 6 goals this season is Cauley Woodrow. He'll be one to watch out for. And there's an early chance here for Bournemouth, the visitors, who fished it themselves round the goalkeeper here, out wide right. They've got to put it back into the centre, and that's going to go for a goal kick. And that should have been more accurate because Walton had come out to clear the ball. There'd been a mix-up between him and the defender. That left it wide open for Bournemouth to exploit the gap, and it was picked up wide by Adam Smith, the through ball coming through, and neither the goalkeeper nor Mikael Helik got their feet sorted, and Sam Surridge found himself out wide. He should have crossed it into the middle. He went for a long shot, and you could tell straight away it was missing. He's not missed by too much, to be fair to him, 3 or 4 yards, but he had men in the middle, notably Dominic Solanke, who waved his arms in frustration. So an early chance for Bournemouth, and one entirely almost of Barnsley's doing. So Jack Walton will take the goal kick, rather relieved all in his black strip there, and clear it long upfield. He won't be too happy with that, and neither will his manager Valerian Ismail. Played well in midweek in the 2-1 victory at St Andrews over Birmingham, seeing him settle 14th in the table, avoided relegation at the end of last season, given a reprieve by the points deduction awarded to Wigan. We'll go through that Bournemouth side in a moment. They're coming down that right flank again with Adam Smith and looking dangerous, though he tries a cross and it hits Mads Juhl Andersen on the leg. Korea's out for a throw in. Unfortunately for Bournemouth, they're off the leg of Smith himself. So defensive throw up the line from Styles. It's taken down by Woodrow, and Bournemouth will win it back instantly. Solanke trying to get in on play, and Bournemouth have won themselves a free kick here. Alex Mowat just coming across overzealously in the challenge. And Adam Smith with a little bit of a limp. So Bournemouth will try and take the free kick quickly, but the referee Keith Stroud isn't going to allow that to happen. He wants to set himself and set the defending side. So Bournemouth with the free kick, 40 yards from the Barnsley byline, wide on the right, about 10 yards in from the touchline. Lewis Cook stands over it. There's a one-man wall, and that man is Connor Chaplin. There's a high defensive line from Barnsley. They stand on the edge of their own box, rather the edge of the 18-yard box, and it's swung in towards the back post. The first header is from a defender, so it'll fish out towards David Brooks, who tries a shot, although he might claim it was a cross. Either way, it's gone nowhere near where its intended target was, and almost hits the corner flag on its way out for a goal kick. So I'll give you that Bournemouth team now. So they start with Asmir Begovic in net, the back three of Lloyd Kelly, Steve Cook and Chris Mepham. Left to right in midfield, Diego Rico, David Brooks, Lewis Cook, Philip Billing and Adam Smith, with Sam Surridge and Dom Solanke up front. So we've played 4 minutes at Oakwell. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 0, and it's certainly been the side who sits second in the league who've shone the brightest in these opening exchanges. But Barnsley in possession, just the Bournemouth side of halfway, and it's fished forward towards Chaplin. There's going to be a bursting run here forward from Victor Adebayojo. It's scuppered by Chris Mepham, who just got his body across in the 18-yard box in the nick of time. He'll clear back into Barnsley territory. The tight's going to come again, though. It's worked through the midfield to Connor Chaplin, 30 yards out. Fishes it back to Alex Mowat. Mowat will go wide towards Britton. Barnsley moving it quickly here under the press from Bournemouth. They'll come from right into centre, and now out wide to the left where Mads Juhl Andersen is coming up from deep, and the young Dane's going to get across in here. He whips it, cleared by a defender. It's going to drop 30 yards out, and Bournemouth will get that first touch. Dom Solanke's dropping deep now onto the edge of the centre circle to win it. He takes on 2 Barnsley players, but the third is a step too far, and the Tights will win it back. And here they come again, end-to-end stuff in the opening exchange. It's going to drop to Cauley Woodrow 25 yards out. He goes down under the challenge from Billing. Referee was right on it, says nothing doing, and Bournemouth will clear their lines, working it out in triangular passes up towards Billing, and Billing has managed to play in a ball to Solanke, and Solanke's on the edge of the penalty area. Solanke's going to have a shot, and it's just knocked out for a corner by Michael Solbauer, who covered a lot of ground there to cover the angle. I'd have to say that Solanke was favourite there, and the Austrian defender just got across and shut off a promising chance. So will be a corner to come. Solanke perhaps guilty of hesitating ever so slightly before pulling left foot shot. And so Solbauer's deflection takes it for a corner, the first of the game. 6 minutes played. It's whipped in towards the penalty spot, outswinger. It's headed away by Anderson. It drops to Billing on the edge of the box, dead central. It's whipped out wide right now, and a chance brewing here. Smith coming to the back post, cut back, and a possible chance at goal, and headed wide by Solanke. Solanke rose above his defenders. He's got that height in his arsenal, but he couldn't direct his header on target. It'll go out for a goal kick, shall I say, to a relieved Barnsley. So 0-0 after 6.5 minutes. No question of the offside. It was a good move building for the Cherries. Solanke, I think he had more time than he envisaged. You could even say that it was a question of a climb from Callum Britton. Nothing was given. So a goal kick to come. Coming up to the 7th minute mark, and it'll go long from Walton, deep into Bournemouth half. So deep, in fact, that it's only going to wind up in the palms of Asmir Begovic after a couple of headers apiece, and he'll roll out wide to the right to try and find Mepham. Mepham will clear long up the line. He's looking for Surridge. He's not found him, though, so it goes all the way through to Jack Walton in goal. So the black-clad goalkeeper just takes a moment to survey his options, waves his team further upfield. The mainstay in this side so far this season, making his 16th appearance, the academy grad. He's plenty of experience over the years in the lower leagues with Stalybridge Celtic. He clears it long and deep upfield, and there's going to be a shot opening up on the edge of the box here, and it's taken by Alex Mowat, fizzed into the palms of Asmir Begovic, and straight from goalkeeper to attack in a matter of moments. It's being kept in wide on the left by Callum Stiles, and Bournemouth have stopped for a moment. The cross comes in from Mowat, it drops to the back post, and it's everywhere and picked up by Asmir Begovic. It was swung in towards the back post, and there were red shirts of Barnsley inside that box, but that is an exemplary move from defence to attack. It was knocked straight upfield, taken down by Adebayojo, who played it into Mowat, who swung a shot towards Begovic, who had it covered but could only palm it away. Such was the venom it was hit with. It was kept in wide on the left by Callum Stiles, and it was unlucky from Barnsley that they couldn't make the cross more accurate, and then a deflection off Kelly. Could have seen it go anywhere, and thankfully for the away side, Asmir Begovic was on hand to pick up. So Bournemouth have a defensive throw, 30 yards inside their own half. They'll try and flick it up the line, but they're dispossessed in the middle of their own half. It's given away. Advantage is going to be played. The chance brewing here for Alex Mowat. He too is knocked off the ball, so it will be a free kick to the home side. David Brooks looking slightly guilty. Keith Stroud was straight on it in his luminous yellow jersey. And Connor Chaplin took a tumble in the challenge. It then dropped to his teammate Alex Mowat, who streamed forward towards the 18-yard box. He was knocked off the ball by David Brooks. And that will be a free kick for the first instance. So not right outside the 18-yard box as it would have been for the second, which I don't think was a foul, really, more of a dispossession. Of course, the advantage brought back for the initial infringement. So there were 3 Barnsley players stood over this one. Chaplin, Mowat and Kane. Chaplin's going to leave it. So Mowat and Kane the favourites. Mowat with 2 goals this season. Kane yet to mark the score sheet. Mowat's going to take it and chip it into the box. It's going to go towards Woodrow. It's going to bounce everywhere, and they can't clear it. Can Bournemouth, and they will finally fizz it away. It will hit their own man. I think it was Cook with the clearance, and go out for a corner. But a cheeky chip from the free kick saw it fall into the path of Woodrow, who tried to flash a shot across goal. Evaded him in the end. It dropped through his legs and almost saw Anderson steal on it and have a shot. The corner's taken in towards the back post. It's going to be hashed away for another corner. Barnsley thought they kept that in from the clearance. Actually, it was cleared away by Mepham, and Britain looked to steal and keep it in. The assistant referee's flag says it has gone for a corner, so it will be another corner to come for Barnsley. Whipped in now towards the back post after the 1-2, and rising as Adebayojo at the back post. It's going to be above the London-born Nigerian international's head, and that will be a goal kick to the away side. So 10.5 minutes gone, chances apiece. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 0. Valerian Ismail looking on, surveying some early chances for his side, but some early defending as well. led last year to the round of 32 of the Europa League, where they were beaten resoundingly by Manchester United on their first outing in the competition. Esteemed player in his day. Spent time at his home side with clubs Strasbourg as well as Werder Bremen and Bayern. Now occupies the dugout at Oakwell. And he'll see his side struggling to win the possession back on halfway. Bournemouth have it, and they're not happy to relinquish it just yet, knocking it around the back three. Under the press from Barnsley, though, but Bournemouth managed to work it round him. Adam Smith finds himself in space on the right, crossing into Barnsley territory. He's taking it forward, now into the 18-yard box, works it to Billing, and Billing's going to try a shot, and it's in from Phil Billing. Edge of the area, a strike low past the goalkeeper, almost bursting the back of the net. And so we're in the 12th minute, Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1, and it was a well-worked move from the visitors, coming from the right-back position, and Adam Smith had a key hand in that. Quick 1-2 on halfway, saw him burst into the Barnsley half. They couldn't keep tracks of him. It was opened up for Billing, who struck 20 yards out, low to the goalkeeper's left, and into the bottom corner. 12 minutes gone, and it's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. Phil Billing converting thunderously from the edge of the area after a well-marked move. "12 minutes gone, and it's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1, following a well-worked move from the boot of Adam Smith, who worked it into the Barnsley half from halfway, found Phil Billing on the edge of the box, and the former Huddersfield man struck low to Jack Walton's left. There was no stopping that. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. Back underway at Oakwell, and the home side will have a throw-in almost flat bang on halfway, although they're going to steal a few yards there through Callum Britton, I believe. They find themselves behind, so a good goal at that. Barnsley will clear out from the back, looking for Callum Styles. He found himself run ragged there by Adam Smith in the build to the goal. Smith just working it inside with Cook, and he was away. Billing on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's got a thunderous shot on him. He's a tall mountain of a man. He put every ounce of force behind that shot, and Jack Walton could only watch helplessly as it flew past him. So Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. "14 minutes gone. There's a momentary lull in players. Bournemouth will happily just tow this around the back. They've got the goal advantage now. Don't need to force the issue. They certainly look in control of this one now. Mepham has it at the back. He'll clear up his right flank. It's brought down by Kane, who'll feed it forward to Chaplin. Chaplin's halfway inside the Bournemouth half, but immediately Billing, the goal scorer, is on top of him to win it back for his side, and he'll play it out wide left to Diego Rico, and Billing again is straight off like a shot, but he's not going to be used because the ball's going to go long up towards Surridge, and Solbauer had to be there to clear, so it will be a throw-in to Bournemouth, who, as it stands, are top of the Championship. Now an attack to mount as they look to increase their dominance on this game. Plenty of men forward. It's taken short, and Billing fighting for it down in the left-hand channel. Loses out to Solbauer, and Solbauer will clear long. Look for Cauley Woodrow. Woodrow wins it down and plays it back to Kane, and Kane will fizz a long ball forward over halfway looking for Chaplin, but it's not come off. It's intercepted by Steve Cook, who'll clear it long deep into Barnsley territory. It's picked up in a left-back position by Callum Styles. Styles finds himself up against Adam Smith, so contents himself with the throw-in off the latter's legs. So 15 and a half minutes played at Oakwell. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. Throw-in taken short and instantly lost by Barnsley. Adam Smith's going to whip across into the area. He's managed to find Sam Surridge, who can't quite control the aerial ball, and he's frustrated with himself because he knew he was through one-on-one. Jack Walton will pick up the loose ball, but it was given away from the throw-in taken by Styles. Whipped into the box, and Surridge found himself all on his own, and then We see from the replay that maybe he would have been spared a few blushes. The assistant's flag was up for a late offside. Still frustrated with himself that he couldn't take that one down and have a shot for what would have been his third goal of the season. But not to worry, Bournemouth are coming again. Billing has it wide in the left. Played in by Rico. Billing goes out to the left channel. He cuts it back into the box. He's looking for Brooks. It's going to fall down to the back post towards Surridge, and they're trying to work it back into the box. It's going to be hit goalwards by Solanke. Hit to defender and goes out for a corner. It was a mess for Barnsley at the back there. No one could seem to clear it. They had three centre-halves playing and neither could put in a clearance. It first fell to Brooks, who took a tumble in the box, nothing doing. Solanke did well to work it up towards the goalkeeper, and it's actually off the leg of Walton, and it goes behind for the corner. And Walton not happy with his teammates. He shouting instructions from his goal area, but the corner has been taken. It breaks down on the edge of the box as it was trying to move from Solanke towards Billing, and so Barnsley this time will clear long into the Bournemouth half, and Adebayojo is making a nuisance of himself in the Bournemouth defence. Tries to get in amongst their heads, but it's brought down by Lloyd Kelly and cleared nonetheless, and that one will go all the way through to Jack Walton in the Barnsley net. So 17 gone now. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. Played out to the right for Britton, and Britton will try and play it long. He saw that Woodrow was available, and he was available for a reason. He was a few yards offside there, Cauley Woodrow. And so free kick to come. 20 yards from halfway, the Bournemouth side of that line. Wide on the left, it's played switch ball, cross right, and it wasn't a good ball because Mepham found himself straight tied up by Victor Adebayojo and had to clear it the second time of asking, because the first was a real scuffed effort into the Nigerian's body. So it's cleared up the line, and Barnsley will send it back where it came from and out for a throw in the Bournemouth right back position. So Smith will take it inside to Cook, and he plays it back onto the edge of his area for Kelly. Kelly will find Rico, who's put under pressure immediately by Britton, but it's worked up the line towards Billing, and Billing thinks he's won a throw and has won a throw, and Barnsley disagree because they took that very quickly, thinking it had come out off the Dane. Bournemouth will have the throw, 15 yards inside their own half. Plenty of turquoise blue away shirts on offer for Diego Rico. He goes back to find Lloyd Kelly on the edge of his own box, now into the centre of the field for Steve Cook. Wide to Chris Mepham, who's under pressure then from Adebayojo, who's really harrying the Bournemouth strikers. Harrying a little bit too much because a free kick has been given. I think he's caught Chris Mepham a little bit late there as the Wales international tried to clear that, and indeed I think if anything it was his momentum, Adebayojo, who's come careering in to Mepham, who's still down on the ground and is struggling a little bit. The free kick to come will be just outside the Bournemouth penalty area. Mepham, in worrying signs for the now league leaders, is stricken on the ground. And Jason Tyndall is using this lull in play to dish out some instructions. And it's this point in the night where I'd normally run through the other championship scores, but at 5:30 this evening, of course, it's the only game on tonight. And it remains Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1 as we approach the 20th minute mark. Chris Mepham still down for Bournemouth. So all players taking the opportunity for an impromptu drinks break. Mepham has now worked his way up onto his feet and over to the side. He'll come back on once the Bournemouth defensive free kick has been taken. It's back in play. Was playing in front of 4 empty stands tonight at Oakwell, of course. It holds up with 23,000, but it's just a collection of stewards and media personnel this evening. Seeing grand days as this ground even welcomed some UEFA Cup football close to 15 years ago. Manchester City, and while the City of Manchester Stadium as it was then was undergoing returfing following a summer of concerts, they welcomed Stranraer of the Faroe Islands for the first qualifying round. Barnsley haven't quite reached the heights of European football in recent years. But they are on possession on halfway now. And as soon as I said that, it's given away by Callum Styles, who tried to chip a ball forward looking for Cauley Woodrow. So that's cleared, and Bournemouth will knock it down the left, down the right touchline. Going to come off Styles and out for a throw in. So 21 minutes gone. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. Bournemouth take the throw through Smith back towards Meppen, who seems to be okay now following his knock. It's worked from right to left, and Diego Rico will roll up towards halfway. Penn back inside their own half though, and they'll lose out to the press. Moat will win it back in possession, and Moat now looking to encroach on the penalty area, tries to play it out wide looking for Britton. It's not come off, but the second bite of the cherry will fall to Adebayojo, and the cross will come in, and that one will be flat along the ground and far too close to Asmir Begovic. It was worked well out towards the right, but the cross from Britton was a poor one. Couldn't find a red shirt in the box. So Begovic, all in yellow, the Bosnian, gratefully picks that one up. Spent last season on 2 loan moves, one at Karabag and one at AC Milan, but he's back to stake a claim to the number 1 jersey this year at Bournemouth. And the move that started with him has gone all the way down that left flank into the feet of Solanke. And Solanke's tried to work into the byline. I think he's just going to run out of room. Yes, he is. He tries to whip across in. He's just overrun that goal line. And luckily for Barnsley, because Surridge had made a run into that unguarded penalty area. In fact, it's overrun the goal line by a good yard, and jokingly Sturridge punches it the way of Jack Walton in goal. So halfway through the half, it's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. The goal coming through Phil Billing on 12 minutes. A goal kick goes long and out of play for a Bournemouth throw, halfway inside their own half. Left back position, so it will be Diego Rico will take it. Billing's coming short, the goal scorer. Rico set his sights on the long ball up the flank. He's looking for Solanke. He's found Solanke, but it bounces off him. So it'll be won by Solbauer, and Solbauer will hook a ball up the line. A chance for Barnsley to build now. They come down that right flank with Britton, who tries to chip it forward looking for Woodrow. He's not found him though, so it's taken off him by Rico, who will play back to his goalkeeper and cleared long into the midfield where it bounces around and Barnsley will win it back. Hellick trying to play a long diagonal ball upfield. It's headed away by the Bournemouth defence up towards Solanke, who can't control it, nor can Solbauer. So that one will bounce out for a throw in. 24 minutes gone. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 0. It's out wide right. Barnsley have it just encroaching on that attacking third. They've worked it from right into the middle, and Moat will pick it up now. Out wide left to Styles. Styles on the edge of the box, cuts inside one, tries to work onto his right foot. He's just undone by the spare man. The referee's blown for a free kick. I thought for a moment, incredulously, he was going for a yellow card. He's actually gone for the vanishing spray, and he believes that Adam Smith has fouled Callum Styles on the edge of the box. I don't think there was much in it, to be quite honest. Perhaps guilty there, Smith, of leaving a leg in a little bit late, but I don't think there was very much to write home about in that challenge, and Smith certainly doesn't think so. He's voicing his frustrations at the decision, but it'll stand. So it'll be a free kick to Barnsley in a very promising position. 2 yards out from the edge of the box. Good 15 yards left of centre, so it favours the right footer, and Herbie Kane is stood over it. Asmir Begovic setting his wall, of which there are 4 men. So Kane looks the favourite to take it. Moet stood over it too. I think it's been Kane the right foot. Kane, here he goes, over the wall and over the bar. And so that, after all the excitement, will end in nothing more than a goal kick. Perhaps justice is served. It was a good 2-3 yards over the wall, and a good 5 or 6 clearance over the bar. And Kane looks frustrated with that effort, and unsurprisingly so, the 22-year-old Bristolian. Spent the back end of last season on loan at Hull from Liverpool. He's now joined permanently. A bit of a problem for the referee here as we wait for the restart in play. Seems that part of his kit was defective. trying to work out what it was. It looked like some sort of harness that he's taken over to the far side of the pitch and dropped it on the ground. So we're now underway. Goal kick's cleared long, headed right back into the danger zone for Bournemouth, and Mepham's got work to do. Mepham will do well to hold up possession inside his own box because he was being harried all the way by Adebayojo. He'll get it clear. Barnsley will come back, and they've wasted possession again in that middle third. The ball out wide looking for Styles has gone straight out of play, but the goal kick landed Bournemouth in all sorts of trouble. Mepham found the Nigerian Adebayojo bearing down on him. He did well to head it into the turf, turn 180 degrees and clear away. He showed good vision there. Welshman knew that he's been borne down upon, got the ball clear, has a word with his goalkeeper as if to say, think about where you're placing your goal kicks. Managed to avert the danger. So coming up to the 27-minute mark, it's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. Phil Billings' goal in 12 minutes, the only difference between the two sides. Bournemouth have a throw 10 yards inside the Barnsley half, and it's taken conservatively. They're going to go back towards Mepham at centre half. Mepham will now visit long and back the way it came, and it goes straight down the throat of Madjul Anderson, who knocks it out wide to Callum Styles, who miscontrols it on the touchline and can seize the throw 10 yards inside his own half, right in front of the dugout. It's been a difficult start to the game for him. He was taken apart by Adam Smith in the build-up to the goal. Smith will flick the throw in towards Sturridge. Sturridge can't control it, so Barnsley will win it back, and Adebayojo has it just inside the Bournemouth half. He tries to feed it inside to Woodrow, but Bournemouth will win it back, and they'll stand firm on halfway with Smith to win a throw in. They'll steal a few yards in front of the dugout to take it into the Barnsley half, to then throw it back, confusingly, the way it came towards Mepham, who switches play from right to left towards Lloyd Kelly, who fizzes the ball down the left flank looking for Rico, and Rico was chasing it, but it was just hit too long for him. So go for the goal kick. 28 minutes gone, 1-0 to the visitors. Barnsley have had their chances. It certainly looks to be the South Coast side on top. So Walton to take the goal kick, sets it down front of the CK Beckett stand. Right to left Barnsley as I look at it. This goal kick lands in Bournemouth territory, and the visitors will pick it up. Goes out wide to Rico on the left flank, 10 yards inside his own half. Knocks it back to Kelly, who's under pressure from Woodrow, but fizzes it long upfield looking for Surridge. And Surridge can't be found, so it'll be headed away. And the nick off the blue shirt in the process means that Barnsley will have a throw 5 yards inside the Bournemouth half. It's Callum Britton who'll stand over it. The ball isn't to his liking, so he's going to swap it for a new one. From him, still waiting to be taken as he tests this one out the right back. Seems happy. So 10 yards inside the Bournemouth half from the throw. A couple of fake run-ups. He's finally going to take it, and having pondered over it for so long, he gives it away straight away, but the clearance is equally poor, and Barnsley will win it back 10 yards inside the Bournemouth half. Adebayojo takes it forward, dispossessed though by Brooks and a tangle of men, who works it out towards Billing, and then to Rico, who tries to get over halfway, but he's intercepted by Solbauer, and Solbauer knocks it forward towards Mowat, and Woodrow on the edge of the box tries the nutmeg. It doesn't come off against Kelly, and Kelly will take it out wide to try and clear, which he does only down the throat of Britton. So level with the edge of the Bournemouth penalty area, Barnsley have it. Down the right flank again, they're trying to work their way round that left back position. Find it's a dead end, so they come back towards halfway, bringing Hellick on the edge of the centre circle, still in the Bournemouth half, and it's worked out to the left now. Styles on the left flank, 25 yards out from goal. He'll bring it inside, or try to find Adebayojo, and it breaks down again once it comes to Styles. Really a difficult start to the game for the left back. So it break down. Bournemouth will clear their lines up to halfway, where Billing is dispossessed on halfway. The referee about to blow for a free kick as he's taken to ground by Mowat, but he'll change his mind and wave play on for the advantage. So Rico has it wide left inside the Barnsley half. Visit back towards Kelly, and they'll go central now with Steve Cook, who plays a long diagonal ball upfield for Adam Smith, who's done well to keep it in with the header. Knocks it back towards David Brooks, who has to battle with the aerial ball to keep it alive, and loses out on halfway. So Barnsley will have a throw. They trail 1-0. 31 minutes about to tick over at Oakwell. This is a independent off-tube studio commentary with myself, Cameron Pope, that you're listening to. So 14 to go till half-time. The Tykes looking for the second win in a week, find themselves under the cosh in this first half, courtesy of Phil Billings' goal in 12 minutes, but they've managed to work it up towards Cauley Woodrow, 30 yards out, and he's dispossessed on the edge of the Bournemouth box, and now Bournemouth will look to counter. Phil Billings has it on halfway, plays it out wide left to Rico. He's going to try a long ball forward, looking for Surridge. It just takes a fortunate deflection for Barnsley, which directs it back out of the attacker's path and into the hands of Jack Walton. Bournemouth showing their danger there. And they know certainly how to move that ball from right to left. So 32 minutes played, Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 0. And out for a throw-in on the left-hand side. Taken by the visiting side. Brief interruption in play. Cauley Woodrow has gone into the book for reasons not too clear to the naked eye. So I tried to piece out what has happened to see the Barnsley man and top scorer enter the book. I tell you, just nothing quite so exciting happening in open play. We're going to get a replay though. Cauley Woodrow seems to be quite an innocuous challenge. It seems to be challenging for the ball with Lewis Cook, and you can only imagine that's what it's been given for. But it certainly didn't look like anything at the time. Hence the confusion, and it had to be brought back once the stoppage in play passage of play had elapsed, and Woodrow finds himself in the book. Rather soft one there given by Keith Stroud, you have to say. 33 minutes gone though. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1, and Bournemouth have a free kick given 10 yards inside the Barnsley half, just for a tug from Victor Adebayojo. Again, Bournemouth tried to take it quickly, and again Stroud brings them back. So 10 yards inside the Barnsley half, the Cherries will have it. It's 10 yards right of centre, so a chance possibly for Diego Rico, who's momentarily come over to the right hand side to whip it into the box, which he does towards the back post. It's going to float in towards left back position, cleared away the first time asking by Barnsley. It's going to go long upfield, and there's no blue shirted men back inside the Bournemouth half, but no Barnsley men either. So the first to it is Lloyd Kelly, who's tracked back, and he'll play it into Asmir Begovic in goal. He'll go long upfield, finds Surridge, who tries to flick on looking for Solanke, lost out to Britton, but Britton slips. Solanke will have that straight back, wide in the left, 10 yards inside the Barnsley half. He'll fizz it back towards Diego Rico, who in turn will go to Lloyd Kelly, and that will end up all the way back with Begovic. So Bournemouth not willing to relinquish possession. They have sacrificed their territory, and they're guilty of overplaying the back here. They might be giving this away. It's a fist ball in towards Callum Styles, and Styles has managed to win it back, puts the cross in, headed away. It's not danger cleared though. Alex Moat will whip across back into the box, and that one is cleared more convincingly by Lord Kelly at the far stick. But Bournemouth there didn't want to give the ball away and took it back into the defensive third, then tried to switch from left to right, overplayed. The ball into Philip Billing was a wayward one, so Callum Styles stole in and just kept it alive. Whipped it towards the back post, and Lloyd Kelly managed to clear. Bournemouth almost victims of their own undoing there. They still have their 1-goal lead intact. Phil Billings' goal on 12 minutes. The only mark on the score sheet so far. Bournemouth have it on halfway, near side there right with Adam Smith, who's in a battle with Callum Styles. Adam Smith will knock it off the Barnsley man's shins for a throw, 5 yards inside the Tykes half. They'll go back into defence once again. Bournemouth have shown a number of occasions they don't want to hand possession back up the field. They'd rather keep the ball, albeit in defence, and plot their next move. You've seen how quickly they can switch play from left to right and vice versa. There's no work for them this time. They tried to move it out to the left, and dispossessed by Callum Britton. They'll clear into Bournemouth territory, not back the way it'll come, and Solbauer will try and clear for Barnsley, straight up in the air. It'll drop halfway inside his own half, but a fortunate deflection sees it drop to Alex Mowat, who'll work it on halfway to Adebayojo. It's cut inside towards Mowat again, and now on the left towards Styles, just on halfway. Long whipped ball upfield searches for Adebayojo, headed clear by a defender. It's fallen to Mowat though, who's 30 yards out, just left of centre, will thread a ball forward into the box, looking for Chaplin, who'll cross it to the back post where he thought Cauley Woodrow was going to be lurking. And in effect, he's 2 yards behind a through ball, and so it's an easy one for Asmir Begovic to scoop up. But good play from Barnsley, who worked it well from midfield to attack, brought it to Chaplin, who knocked it through the legs of Kelly towards the back post, where he thought their top scorer would be waiting. But Woodrow had adopted a more central position, and so Begovic can pick that one up relatively unopposed. So it remains for 36.5 minutes, Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. Bournemouth have it on halfway, they'll tussle for the ball, and the winner of it is David Brooks, who'll fizz a ball down towards the right-hand corner flag, looking for Sam Surridge. It's met Solbauer first, who's come across and cleared. So chance for Bournemouth to increase their lead from the throw in, which is right in that corner position, near side there right. Plenty of men forward for the Cherries, but it was Smith as always to take it. Throws it in short to Cook, knocks it back the way to take it, but the move's broken down. They couldn't find Smith, and it'll be cleared by Barnsley for another Cherries throw in, albeit 15 yards further back, so halfway inside the Barnsley half now. Smith to take it undeterred once again, goes down the line, and he makes a real mess of it, does Yul Anderson, trying to clear it, knocked it into his standing leg and scampered after it the day to try and keep it alive, and that's gone for another throw in 10 yards closer to the corner flag. So Smith to take it again, knocks it into Billing on the goal line. It's going to go back to the taker, who crosses it in under the crossbar, punched away by the goalkeeper. It'll come out to the left back position where Styles will try and clear, but you needn't worry because the referee has stopped play for a foul on the goalkeeper, who must have pitched it under a challenge, an illegal challenge. I think it's actually been given for Sam Surridge holding on to Mikael Helik in the battle for the ball. So the lack of clearance is immaterial in the end. It'll be a free kick, almost like a goal kick, inside that penalty area. It's taken long, effective as well. Finds Woodrow on the edge of the box, who plays it into Mowat, dead central. Woodrow now going out wide, takes it on the left, flicked into the box. Barnsley working well. Chaplin will cross towards the back post, where it's headed away by Cook, comes out to the edge of the area where Solbauer is powering forward. He's dispossessed though, and the clearance will come up long, up towards halfway for Surridge to chase, and it's overrun him. So Barnsley will have a throw 20 yards inside the Bournemouth half. The Tykes perhaps just starting to grow into the game. The trail 1-0, 6 minutes of normal time left in the first period. So Styles will have the throw in. And his mop of brown hair, he surveys his options, decides to go with the nearest one, Mads Yul Anderson. Back to Styles, who's taken down in the challenge by Adam Smith, and it will be a free kick to the home side accordingly. 40 yards from the Bournemouth byline on the left flank, just 10 yards in from that touchline. So Herbie Kane will stand over it. Bristolian knocks it forward to the edge of the box where he's found Chaplin. Chaplin will cross it over towards the back post, and a chance here for Barnsley, and tipped around the post. And what a chance that was for the Tykes to draw level. And they can't believe their luck. It was a well-worked move from Herbie Kane's free kick. Chaplin played in, he beat the offside line, cut towards the back post, and it's fired back into the danger zone. And then out somehow agonisingly from close range for a goal kick. It's hit Mads Yul Anderson last. It was fired back in to the 6-yard box, and Anderson just had to turn it home from Helik's ball in, but it was hit with such pace that it hit him unawares, and from an unbelievable angle, out for a goal kick. And that's the closest that the home side have come to levelling things since Billings opener on 12 minutes. But Anderson can't take too much criticism there, I don't think, because Helik the Pole had hit that in with such pace from such close range as well, only 3 yards away from the Dane. The Dane was stood in front of the post. It hit him on the shin pad, and then it could have gone anywhere. And fortunately for the away side, out for a goal kick. So visitors Bournemouth retain that 1-goal lead they've had since the 12th minute. We're 4 minutes from half time now, and it's Bournemouth in possession again
10 yards inside their own half with Mepham on the left flank. Tries to play a long ball upfield with the intention of finding Surridge. It's cleared by a defender, and so it will fall to a throw in for Smith, level with the edge of the Barnsley penalty area. Near side the Bournemouth right, he'll find Surridge with his back to go inside the area, back to the taker, who'll cross it into the body of Styles and out for a throw in. I think he was hoping it might have gone for a corner, but Styles has got a bit fortunate with the angle there. So 3.5 minutes to play of the half. Bournemouth lead 1-0 and the attack with a throw in 10 yards from the byline. Styles standing next to Cook, who's going to be the favourite recipient from Smith, and Smith tries to use him and it breaks down when it bobbles back off Cook and out for defensive throw. So it'll come up the line from Styles, headed back his way by Bournemouth, and so the left back will clear long. It's a long ball for Chaplin to chase, but Steve Cook was always going to get there first, and he plays it back from the edge of his box to Asmir Begovic, and out wide left now to Lloyd Kelly. Kelly will play a long ball down that left flank, which only finds Solbauer of Barnsley, who knocks it into Bournemouth territory. David Brooks battling for the ball with Britton, and Britton knocks it off the former for a Barnsley throw in. So Britton will take it 10 yards inside the Bournemouth half. 1-0 the Cherries lead, 3 minutes to half time. Kane with it 10 yards Bournemouth side of halfway, where it's into Solbauer right on that centre line, flicked forward into the feet of Woodrow. Woodrow finds Britton and tries to knock it up towards the edge of the penalty area. That's where it will break down, half cleared by Bournemouth, but it'll fall to Mowat, who's 30 yards out. I think he's going to try a shot and he whips one. It's going to go always wide there. Mowat never really got his foot around that. He has had a taste for goal this season. He's got 2 to his name already. It was well worked to find him. Woodrow knew he had his back to goal and too much to do, so it has taken a deflection to go out for a corner, or it should have been. It was signalled for a goal kick, and that's what we've got. But it definitely took a meaty deflection off a defender, which seems to have escaped the match official. But goal kick nonetheless. And that comes long up to halfway. 43 minutes and 15 seconds played. So we're edging towards half time. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. Phil Billing with the only goal of the game on 12 minutes. Bournemouth, as they have done so many times, just working it from right to left with that back three. Now out to Diego Rico on that left flank, who's just on halfway, but the pass overruns him, and so it'll run for a Barnsley throw in just inside their own half. Callum Britton stand over it. Ambitious ball is on up the line towards Woodrow, and it's worked. He finds him, he flicks on into empty space, and Steve Cook will volley a clearance up the line. Barnsley will head out through Hellick for a throw in, so Bournemouth will enter the 45th minute of the half in possession with Rico with the ball in hand. So the blue shirts stream forward anticipantly. It's thrown forward towards the edge of the area where Surridge is waiting, but it bounces back off him and Barnsley will win it back. They'll play out from right to centre with Hellick, who knocks it out wide left for Styles, just inside the Bournemouth half. He's put under pressure by Smith, so has to go back into his defence. He'll clear long, looking for Chaplin. Cleared by Bournemouth, and it'll roll out for a throw into the tights, 20 yards inside the Bournemouth half. Diego Rico thinks it should have been a Cherries throw, but it won't matter because they've won it back from the resulting Barnsley throw. They'll clear long, where Surridge may have been lurking earlier in the game, but he's dropped back towards halfway, and that one will roll through to Walton in goal. And he'll punt kick up into the defensive Bournemouth third, and the Cherries head clear only as far as Britton, who stood in halfway. Types will knock it back into their defensive line, and Solbauer now decides to go long upfield looking for Woodrow. It's only met by the head of Kelly, who makes a bit of a hash of it, but it's covered for by Lewis Cook in midfield, but his pass has gone wayward and it's fallen now sideways to Britton. Britton works it up to the edge of the area where Woodrow is waiting. Bournemouth will clear as they get a foot in. It'll come back straight at him though. Herbie Kane on halfway with it in the centre circle now, tries to feed a ball forward. That's going to cannon off David Brooks and out for a throw. So the ball has gone up. 2 minutes of additional time to be played at the end of the first half. Barnsley will have a throw as they look to find an equaliser before the break, and Styles tries to work it into Adebayojo down that left flank. He's dispossessed by Mepham though. Mepham will play long upfield looking for Surridge, who's clattered in the aerial battle, and that will certainly be a free kick as we cross into the second and final minute of added time, and Surridge is in no rush to get this game restarted. He went up in the challenge with Hellick, and Hellick won the ball but took the man with him as well, just with an arm in the back. It's the right decision. Surridge never really stood a chance there, and he looked to land a little bit awkwardly. He was holding his head as he sat up. He's back on his feet. So we're into the final minute of the two added. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 1. A free kick to come, just a yard or so inside the Barnsley half. Bournemouth to take, down the right flank, flicked again down towards Surridge, but Styles ahead clear. It drops at the feet of Adebayojo on the edge of his own box, and he'll roll it into Woodrow, who's dropped deep, takes it effortlessly past Billing, but he's undone by Cook, and now it's played out to the left for Solanke, and Solanke's going to find his way to the box here. Solanke takes it left, and he's going to hit past the keeper and under him into the back of the net, and Barnsley failed to work the ball out from the back. Bournemouth make them pay, and it's Dominic Solanke with his 6th goal of the season in all competitions, who puts one past the Tykes in the 48th minute of the game, just when added time had elapsed, and Barnsley just overplaying in that defensive third. It was good work from Cauley Woodrow to take it past Phil Billing, but the second man was his undoing. It was played out to the left for Solanke, who just slotted it away under Jack Walton. And with half-time just around the corner, Barnsley will be kicking themselves. Bournemouth lead 2-0. And on the cusp of half-time at Oakwell, it's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Barnsley trying to play out from the back through Cauley Woodrow. He beat the first man, lost it to the second, who duly played in Dominic Solanke on the edge of the box, who let it roll onto his left, and then took it inside, slotting under Jack Walton from an acute angle to make it 2-0 right on the break. Barnsley will be kicking themselves. They trail by 2-0. With that, the referee, Keith Stroud, has seen enough, so we'll go in at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. That goal right on the cusp of half-time, changing the complexion of the game somewhat. Join us again in 15 minutes. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one seems to be going to form. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The Cherries took the lead in the 12th minute through Phil Billing, whose low shot to the goalkeeper's left-hand corner sneaks the Cherries into the lead. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile.
Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Half-time in the game at Oakwell, and this one is going to form so far. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The visitors in the lead from the 12th minute when a sweet strike from the edge of the area from Danish midfielder Phil Billing sneaked the Cherries onto the top of the championship pile. Second goal coming later in the half, very, very late indeed. Barnsley's failure to play out from the back saw Don Solanke inside the box, slotting home underneath Jack Walton to make it at the break. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2.
Well, welcome back to Independent Off-Tube studio commentary of Barnsley versus Bournemouth. Just about got underway in the second half. If you're just joining us on the stroke of our time, it became Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Dom Solanke adding to Phil Billings' 12-minute strike. And it's Barnsley who get us underway. They're coming down the left flank with Callum Styles, and they'll float the ball in and central, looking to find Cauley Woodrow, but they've overstepped the mark there. There's going to be a free kick taken rather quickly by the visiting Cherries. So they'll work one straight out from the back, move it wide to Mepham. Central to Cook, right on the edge of his own box. Mepham will have it now. The Wales international feeding it down that right flank. He's found Brooks, and Brooks will knock it forward into the path of Smith. And there's a clip on Brooks, and the referee's played advantage, but Smith goes down 2, so the original foul will now be given. It's 46 minutes gone, and a chance now on halfway for Bournemouth to pump a ball long and cause Barnsley yet more problems. And that second goal couldn't have come at a worse time for the Tigers, right in the stroke of half time that Solanke scored. Changed the complexion of the game. And that's how we come out for the second half. No changes for either side to tell you about so far. Remember as well that Championship sides are now allowed 5 substitutes apiece from a selection of 9 on the bench. But we are continuing with the same 11s into the second period. So the throw to come now for Bournemouth from the resulting free kick, nipping out off the leg of Alex Mowat. Taken down that right flank, looking for Adam Smith. Smith will get there first and he'll tap it off the legs of Anderson and out for an attacking throw. So Bournemouth have it in hand, playing in their blue chain strip, kicking from right to left as I look at it, attacking the empty north stand where the away supporters would normally be. Quick one to Smith and Mepham for the throw in. Smith will have it back and tries to work it round Styles. Has to make do with the throw in as the left back comes in with the challenge. So throw to come, far side the Bournemouth right up by the corner flag. In fact, Styles walks it back a couple of yards before taking, feeds it up the line, and then the offside flag is up to thwart that one just as it was getting underway. So 47.5 minutes gone. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. Phil Billing and Dominic Solanke with the first half goals. See Bournemouth top the Championship table as it stands. Of course, the rest of the Championship action still to come this weekend. Barnsley still in 14th, but they run the risk, if they concede again, of dropping into 15th, displaced by Preston North End. Should they concede once more, their goal difference and goals scored actually will take them down to 15th. Better finish that they had last year, of course, just escaping relegation with 2 wins in the final 2 games, one of which against promotion chasing Brentford, and that really saved them, as did the unfortunate points deduction for Wigan Athletic. So they live to fight another year in the Championship, and it's been a strong start under Valérien Ismaël. Sits on 19 points so far. They've certainly found a goal outlet through Cauley Woodrow on 6 for the season. Yet to find his mark tonight. Maybe a chance yet to come. 4 of his 5 league goals have come after the 70th minute. There's a brief lull in play at the moment. 2 tangled players deep inside the Barnsley half, on the ground, and one of those is Michael Solbauer of Barnsley and the other Sam Surridge of Bournemouth. And Solbauer has stayed down. Don't think he's in any major trouble, but a bit of a problem with the ankle. Surridge was straight back to his feet. There was nothing untoward really, other than a tangle of legs, as I said. But the Austrian just receiving treatment now, halfway inside the Barnsley half. He'll stand to his feet and hobble gingerly over to the touchline. Seems to be okay. He's just testing what looks to be that left ankle out. Play about to get underway again from a Bournemouth throw in, halfway inside the Barnsley half. It's taken back into that defensive line for the Cherries, who'll knock it from right to left. And it comes to Kelly to knock it down that left flank into the path of Solanke. But Hellick got there first and just shepherded that one out for a goal kick, and throws a ball back to his goalkeeper to get restarted. Of course, Barnsley have work to do if they get back into this game. Dom Solanke's goal right at the end of first half added time saw the Cherries take a 2-0 lead in this one. The goal kick goes over halfway into Bournemouth territory, headed back the way it came by Phil Billing. powerful header, sees it into the Barnsley defence, and Hellick will clear it. So out for a Bournemouth throw. Hellick thinks he was fouled in the challenge with Sturridge as well, and I think if anything, really, it was a bit of pulling going on, not on Hellick but on Anderson, as the forward tried to get towards the Polish defender, who eventually did clear. So perhaps grounds for debate. The throw-in will stand. So 51 minutes played, Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 2. The referee now has decided to change his mind, but he's awarded a Bournemouth free kick. And that's going to only add to Hellick's disagreement, because if anything, I thought it was the other way, and so he's gone back with the original throw-in decision, and the corner is going to be the free kick's going to go out wide on the right, taken far on that right side. It's going to be whipped in towards goal, and it's in. It's straight in for a third for Bournemouth. And what a free kick that is! Powered into the back of the net, and questions will be asked about whether or not that should have indeed been given. It's thundered into the back of the net, and Barnsley can only look on in surprise. The two-man wall was nowhere near it. It flung into the corner, and Diego Rico was put aside. 3 goals to the good in the 52nd minute. Early stages in the second half in the game at Oakwell, and it's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 3. A debatable free kick given to the away side just on the corner of the penalty area, and well, the Spaniard hit it with venom, firing it in over the two-man wall, straight into the top corner. Jack Walton couldn't get anywhere near it, and already, as we just start the second half, this one looks beyond Barnsley. Tykes 0, Cherries 3. Well, how about that? If Michael Hellick was complaining before the goal, I'm sure he'll be complaining about it now. Sam Surridge did go to ground, but if anything, it looked like he was grappling with the defender. It's been given, and it was a fantastic free kick by the Spaniard. He whipped it right into the top right corner. Walton trying to get a left hand to it and failing. Barnsley might have time to make amends. They've got a free kick wide out on the left flank, halfway inside the Bournemouth half, which are going to take with a cross into the box. It's going to be headed clear the first time of asking by a defender. It'll drop 30 yards out, and a flash shot comes in from Herbie Kane straight down the throat of Asmir Begovic. So Barnsley now with the proverbial mountain to climb. What a free kick it was from Diego Rico. His first goal of the season. He fired that one straight into the top corner. No questions asked about the technique, I'll tell you that. Now it does look as if Bournemouth will be venturing back down to Dorset, top of the league as we go into the weekend's fixtures. It was a phenomenal strike. Interesting, I'm sure, though, to see Valerian Ismail's thoughts after the game from the Barnsley technical area. I'm sure I'll have a word to say on that. Not sold on the awarding of the free kick in the first place. I believe it should have been a throw in, or anything, if anything, a defensive set piece. But no point arguing now for the home side. They have to get on track to salvage anything from this game, and that's a remote possibility, really. 3-0 down into the 55th minute, and a long ball will come forward from Styles looking for Adebayojo, and he's done well enough to force a clearance from Steve Cook. So a throw in to come for the Tykes, 10 yards from the corner flag. And, a chance now to look one into the box, so he can start chipping away at this strong deficit. So Kane with the throw in, a long looping effort into the penalty area, headed away by a blue shirt the first time of asking. It'll drop on the edge of the box, and 3 Barnsley players stand and gawp at the ball, either thinking the other was going to go for it. And Bournemouth can try and break now down that left flank with David Brooks, and Brooks is brought down to ground, crashing by his opposite number, Callum Britton. It's picked up the loose ball just to work it around Britton into that left-hand crossing position. Enrico can't quite manage it. It's cleared up to halfway. Bournemouth will come back again, though. Mepham out wide to the right, where Adam Smith stands on his own. Back to Cook and up to halfway for Mepham again, and Barnsley's press is just taking the sting out of that one. But the South Coast side cruising now at altitude. 3-0 they lead as we approach the 56th minute, and they're battling to win it back again in that Barnsley right back position, and the Tykes are forced to concede a throw. Britain put under all kinds of pressure. It'll come in from Rico. Finds Solanke, who believes he was fouled in the corner, with Hellick coming across to see that out for a throw-in. The throw-in's been given, so Rico will take it again. Rico taking the short ball inside towards Brooks. Rico will have it back and now whips it in towards Billing, who stood on the edge of the area. It's going to come back out towards Rico again. He's going to try and cross, hit the defender, back to Rico down that left-hand channel. He'll try the second time, and again it's the same result. Barnsley will clear, but not effectively. It's shanked out of play by Callum Britton. So it'll be straight back at them, and Barnsley really making a rod for their own back here. They're hashing every chance they get to clear the ball. The throw in from the corner, taken quickly by Rico. Ineffectively, it's cleared up to halfway by Solbauer. Smith will take it down on the half and try to take it down that right flank, where he's stopped by Anderson. He'll regain possession for his side and clear long over halfway. So we'll have a Bournemouth throw in 10 yards inside their own half, and we're going to see the first change in personnel. Dominic Freezer is stripped and ready to come on for the home side. Waiting to see who the change will be for. So Freezer, the right winger, to make his way into play. It's a triple change, so we've got Thomas, Oduor and Freezer coming on. Styles, Chaplin and Adebayojo going off. So large wholesale changes afoot for the home side, and they do need something to change. They find themselves 3 goals down as we approach the hour mark. Of course, that's 3 of the 5 changes allotted that have been taken up. It's not a all in one go. So triple change made. We'll have Bournemouth throw in 10 yards inside the Barnsley half. Cherries lead 3-0. It's taken back towards Bournemouth goal, where Begovic will just take a moment, then sees he's been pressured by Cauley Woodrow, so he'll play it long over halfway looking for Surridge. It's knocked down by a defender, but straight into the path of Brooks, and Brooks has it now 30 yards central. Brooks a shot opening up, he's going to take it, and it's over the bar. It was a whipping effort, and it asked the question of Jack Walton, who had to dive high to his right, but that one cleared the crossbar there. Bournemouth, though, showing their venom on the way forward. They look like to score every time they breach that attacking third. Stays 3-0 to the away side for now. 59 minutes played. The long ball for Barnsley will come to nothing. It's going to only find Diego Rico at left wing back position for Bournemouth. They'll try and help it out up to halfway. Britain will intercept to knock it back the way it came. Rising to win the aerial ball in the edge of his own area was Lloyd Kelly of Bournemouth, who takes it up to halfway. Into the path of Adam Smith, who's locked in the battle with Oduor. First action for him. Oduor wins it back, and so Barnsley will regain possession on halfway. The long ball comes forward from Hellick. Finds Britain wide on the right, halfway inside the Bournemouth half. Lays it inside to Kane. Britain wants it back, and he does, and he gets it. Works it past 1, past 2, in cross position, back to post. Oh, and what a chance for Barnsley. Stealing in there was Oduor at the back post. It was worked well to the byline. Cut back across the face of goal. Everybody missed it, and Oduor was the favourite to get on the end of it. Just couldn't time his run correctly. That's the closest this side of half-time that Barnsley have come to reducing the deficit, which now stands at 3 goals, of course. It was great play by Callum Britton to take it inside Lloyd Kelly. Fished towards the back post. It missed Dominic Freezer. It missed Cauley Woodrow. And Oduor was just half a yard away from that. It'll remain Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 3. Oduor been a live wire since he came on. Tries to get down that left flank, dispossessed by Billing, who has to clear it for a throw for fear of conceding a corner. So Oduor to take. Comes in short. Oduor will have it back from Freezer. Knocks it inside to Moa on the edge of the box. Freezer will have it again down that left-hand channel. Back to Oduor, who's wide on the left and stood up by 2 blue shirts of Bournemouth, and it's won back 20 yards inside their own half, and here they come now down that right flank with Solanke. Solanke's got some pace in his legs, but being pulled back for an infringement. Keith Stroud's not happy with something he's seen, and so claim that foul has been made 10 yards inside the Barnsley half. I can only imagine it was committed by Solanke in his haste to get away from his marker. So it's taken from left to right along the back three. Solbauer knocks it back inside to Hellick and plays it long over halfway. Barnsley trying the long ball, but again it comes straight back at them. Manuel Anderson forced now to clear hurriedly over up towards halfway for a Bournemouth throw in. 61.5 minutes gone. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 3. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent studio commentary of this EFL Championship game. Very one-sided affair at the moment, and that shows no sign of changing. So throwing to come halfway inside the Barnsley half. Rico takes it into the chest of Billing, who tries a bit of trickery to take it around his midfield man and loses that in doing so, so concedes the throw in just short of halfway. So Barnsley with a throw 10 yards inside the Bournemouth half. 28 minutes left to go in this one. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 3. The bouncer in the middle of the Barnsley half, and coming up to it first is Billing. It's going to go out wide to Brooks, who tries to break his way up towards the 18 yards box. Dispossessed by a defender though. Now Barnsley can try and break, but they go route one. It's straight over the head, looking for newly introduced Luke Thomas at right wing. Forced Lloyd Kelly into a clearance, and so a chance now for Barnsley to finally break that attacking third down that right flank, and Brooks will try and shepherd that one out for a throw-in as Herbie Kane brings it forward. Brooks manages to clear it, so it will be another throw 25 yards from the Bournemouth corner flag for the home side. So Barnsley take it short. Britton has it now 20 yards from the byline on the right flank. Stood up by Billing, and it cannons back straight off his leg. It will be another throw in, which is wasted and goes straight back to the defensive side, and Lloyd Kelly will clear. It hits the leg of Luke Thomas on its way out and goes for a defensive throw in, level with the edge of the Bournemouth box. The Cherries lead 3-0. 27 minutes to play, and we're going to see another Barnsley change now. And Mikael Hellick, the pole, is going to come off from central defence. So it's the fourth and penultimate change the home side can make, and Apo Halmer, the Finn, is going to come on. It's a like-for-like swap. And we restart at the back with Bournemouth. Begovic, goalkeeper, going long up to halfway. It's taken down by Solbauer. Solbauer gets the long ball forward. He was looking for Woodrow, but Mepham won out in that battle, who plays it long upfield looking for Surridge, and there was a battle on between Surridge and Solbauer managed to just work that ball back into the hands of his goalkeeper Jack Walton under some pressure. So Walton just takes the sting out of that one for a moment, then rolls it out wide to the right to find Anderson. Anderson plays a long ball looking for Woodrow, who cuts a lonely figure in a red shirt on the end of the Bournemouth box, and the blue shirts win out in that one. They'll knock it back to Begovic, and they'll play it down that right side with Mepham on the edge of the area. They're overplaying here, and the misplaced pass has fallen to a Barnsley man on the edge of the box, and a flash shot goalwards from Woodrow has won them a corner. And the tactic that was the undoing of Barnsley at the end of the first half has seen Bournemouth come a cropper. An easy ball on the edge of the box, didn't find a blue man, and instead found Cauley Woodrow in space on the edge of the Cherries box, and the Tykes top scorer flashed a shot low to Asmir Begovic's right and forced the Bosnian into a save. The corner will come in swinger towards the back post, and that's far less lethal. That's plucked out the air with ease. Another former Chelsea and Stoke man. It'll come to nothing once again, so 25 minutes remain, and this one is looking increasingly more like a foregone conclusion. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 3. It stands. Goals from Phil Billing, Dom Solanke and Diego Rico. It was 2-0 at the break, and the Rico spectacular free kick on 52 minutes seems to have put this game to bed, and Barnsley are relying on snapshots such as that one from Crawley Woodrow just moments ago. Bournemouth comfortable in possession at left back. Lloyd Kelly plays a long ball down that left flank for Surridge to chase. Solbauer will get there first though for Barnsley and plays it back towards Walton in goal, and his long ball will go forward. There's an aerial tussle and a free kick to Barnsley, which is taken quickly by Woodrow. Not sure that Odwar, who's on the receiving end up on the left flank, was aware of it, but he managed to recover himself and feed it back towards Begovic. Good play by Odwar there just to make up for being out of position and keep possession, work it back to his goalkeeper, who went long, and for that Barnsley have won themselves a free kick on halfway. Phil Billing going in the aerial battle just overzealously, too enthusiastically for the referee's liking. So free kick taken quickly out to the right for Barnsley. Callum Britton 20 yards inside the Bournemouth half, works it inside. It's going to come to Luke Thomas, and Thomas is going to try a shot from the edge of the area, and that was a good curling left-footed effort by the substitute. He did well there to work it onto his left foot, saw the gap opening, he just sold the dummy in front of Lloyd Kelly and hit a curling effort towards the top right-hand post of Asmir Begovic. And that one just fizzed wide of the post. But certainly encouraging signs for Barnsley. It's something they will need to see more of, a lot more of, if to get anything from this game. As it stands, they're dropping into 15th place behind Preston North End. It's certainly a tough night for them, but good signs from the winger. But Bournemouth in possession once again with Begovic. He'll play it short to Mepham. Mepham back to his keeper, who'll go long. Up towards halfway. It's given away by Barnsley though, and there's going to be a chance on here for Bournemouth because Surridge has got it alone. He goes through to the box. Good save. It's going to sneak over the line, and Surridge has scored. And there we go. Surely game, set and match to the Cherries. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4. 68 minutes played. Barnsley are all at sea in the midfield. Sam Surridge played straight through for his third goal of the season. Jack Walton looked to have got a strong enough hand to it. It sneaked past his body, and the spin took it over the line into the back of the net. And as time ticks away and we approach the final 20 minutes of the game, it's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4. We played 68 minutes, and it was a midfield mishap that saw Sam Surridge played through one-on-one. He took a shot at Jack Walton from just inside the area, and Walton looked to have got a firm arm behind it, but it cruelly sneaked under the body of the Barnsley goalkeeper, and the spin just took it away from him over the line. Looks like a foregone conclusion, this one. 69 minutes played, and it's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4. The ball there just slipping away, just as this game has for the home side. Made a good account of themselves this season after a 7-game winless start. Valérien Ismaël's really turned into a side that could be confident of having a chance of staying in the division this year. They've struggled in recent years to make an impact. It's a long time since they've found themselves in the top half of this division. Just avoiding relegation the final day last year. But 14th has actually been their best finish in 22 years, and that's where they started out today. They'll be dropping to 15th at the end of this one unless they can find 2 goals to improve that goal difference to better that of Preston's. They're 4 goals down on the night and having a torrid time of it. Bournemouth really making them pay and look like a side oozing class. Certainly a side who'll fancy themselves for a return to the Premier League at the earliest possible opportunity. They're not veterans of this division by any stretch, Bournemouth. They've only spent 2 seasons in it in the last 3 decades. But he's got a bit of a rare defending to do now, as it's worked in from the Barnsley right by Luke Thomas, tries to fish a ball into the area. It's headed clear by Lewis Cook, and Cook will enter into a battle with Moat, and Moat will win out in that one and win the free kick as well. Keith Stroud's come across him. He thinks there's a bit too much arm in that tackle. So a free kick to come for Barnsley. About 30 yards out it will be. Chance for a consolation perhaps? Maybe too far for a shot. It's probably 35 more with the angle. It's level, in fact, with the edge of the penalty area on that far side. Barnsley left. It's going to be whipped in by Kane towards that centre spot. It's flicked on towards the goal line, and hands go up claiming a goal kick and a corner. Goal kick is the call. Impossible to tell from a far angle, but the referee was close in, and we're going to see the first changes of the night for the visitors now. We can see Jaden Anthony, the youngster, getting prepped, so he looks set to come on. Looks like it might be a double change. Waiting to see who Anthony's replacement will be. So it looks to be David Brooks who's coming off, and Dom Solanke will join him in leaving the action. So Ryan, off the touchline, we're going to see Dan Gosling and Jaden Anthony. Anthony only made his debut for the first team in midweek. Against Preston, got a assist for Sam Surridge. Might be ample time with 18 minutes left for another one tonight. And Dan Gosling, former Plymouth trainee and ex-Everton man, been at the club 6 years now. He'll fill in for the final 18 minutes in central midfield. Goal kick comes along from Begovic, straight upfield, looking to put Jaden Anthony into the action. First time of asking. It's gone over his head, so that one will go out for a Bournemouth throw with a bit of help from Apo Halmer. So Adam Smith to take. Takes it short. The short man is Mepham. Out to Adam Smith again, who's got a crossing position if he can get it past Odewar. It cannons into Odewar and will go for a corner ball. It was looping dangerously towards the goal of Jack Walton. He'll be relieved to see that one go behind. He's had to pick the ball out of his net 4 times so far this evening. Difficult night for the Tykes, who'd won 3 out of the last 5 going into this one. But they will be leaving Oakwell with defeat tonight. Corner taken low and flat towards the front post, but it hits the first man, Apo Halmer, and he'll clear it. He tried to play in Luke Thomas, who switched up onto that left wing. He couldn't control it, and that will run for a throw in, which Adam Smith will take. Been lively down that right flank so far, Smith. And he'll play it back into his defence with Mepham. He'll switch from right to left towards Kelly. 74 minutes gone. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4. Long ball's played forward for Sturridge to chase him. For a moment there, it looked like Sturridge might have got away from his marker, but off the greasy South Yorkshire turf, it's just taken a skip and a bounce and taken it away from both him and Mads Joel Anderson, and gone out for a goal kick. We approach the final 15 minutes of the game. So this sees Bournemouth top the championship table as it stands. Of course, we await results elsewhere this weekend. Former league leaders Norwich home to Wednesday tomorrow. 3rd place Watford host Cardiff. Packed very tight up at the top. Norwich were leading the way on 28. They'll be displaced now by Bournemouth on 30. Bournemouth on 30 have almost been dispossessed at the back there. Perhaps some complacency creeping in. And Steve Cook, who didn't look over his shoulder, and Cauley Woodrow was bearing down on him, managed to recover themselves in the end and play back to Begovic, who gratefully cleared long. Both sides been victim to the temptation of overplaying at times. Bournemouth made it count. Oh, and there's a very, very late challenge coming there from Mads Joel Anderson. He could be in trouble here, the Dane, and Keith Stroud is going straight over to him. There's a gaggle of players surrounding him. What colour will the card be? It's yellow. for Anderson, yellow for the Dane. And that really could have gone either way. The tackle was 30 yards out from his Barnsley net, and he went ploughing in on an attacker. It was a tussle for the ball between him and Dan Gosling, who's only just been introduced. And Gosling got there first, and it was a careering challenge from Anderson that sent Gosling spiralling. So that's his 4th yellow card of the league season, and a free kick to come for Bournemouth, and a chance to inflict further damage on the Barnsley goal difference. So it's wide on the right, level with the edge of the penalty area, 40 yards from that byline. Thankfully, Dan Gosling looks to be in alright shape, because that could have ended very differently. So 13.5 minutes to play. Free kick to come for Bournemouth. It's whipped in towards the centre of the box and headed goalwards and away, but it won't matter because the referee has whistled for a free kick to the defence. Just too much pushing for Keith Stroud's liking. Wasn't the most effective of deliveries anyway. Certainly not as effective as the free kick from the same region that saw Diego Rico increase the Bournemouth lead to 3 just after half time. That one ripped into the back of Jack Walton's nets, and defensive lapse saw Sam Surridge through for his 3rd of the season not long after. And that's the way it stayed. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4. 11 goals they've scored now, the Cherries, outside the penalty area. That's 5 better than the league's second best, Coventry. Barnsley only 3rd in that list with 5. And they have had some tasty efforts, notably through Luke Smith since his introduction, just going inches wide of that left-hand upright of Asmir Begovic. But it's just been snapshots for the home side, who will be succumbing to defeat tonight. The question is just the margin of victory for the Cherries, who've looked imperious in their performance. And they rightly take their place at the top of the league. And they'll work it out from the back with a long ball forward for Adam Smith to chase. It's only going to go to Jack Walton in the Barnsley net, who races to the edge of his penalty area to clear and thumps it into the stand on halfway. So throw in to come for Bournemouth. 12 minutes to play. The lead 4-0 away at a sorry Barnsley, who tried to clear the lines through Clark Oduor, who's worked it up that left flank towards Freezer, trying to get it up to Cauley Woodrow on halfway, but Phil Billing, scorer of the first 4 goals ago, shepherds it back from halfway to Asmir Begovic, who goes along with the clearance, and that'll find Tuck, but it won't matter too much to him. Side, of course, 4 goals to the good and cruising. They're plotting another change. Rodrigo Riquelme is getting prepped, but proceedings will continue for now, and Jayden Anthony works it in from the right hand side inside the Bournemouth half to Phil Billing on the edge of the centre circle, and now out on the left to Lloyd Kelly, who's pushing forward from centre back into an almost left wing back role, and allowing Diego Rico to get fed up the field. But he's not going to use the Spaniard on this occasion. He's going to go play it back into the centre of defence for Steve Cook, who'll work it out wide right towards Adam Smith, and Smith plays it back towards Mepham on the edge of his own penalty area. Barnsley pressing well, but Bournemouth just able to move it round with ease, and Adam Smith now bursts forward into the Barnsley half, and there's numbers forward here for Bournemouth. Rico's going to have it on the edge of the box. He'll shoot goalwards, he'll hit defender, come back to Rico on the edge of that box. Billing takes the ball up on that left channel and plays it out to Kelly wide in the left touchline, 20 yards from the byline. Barnsley just can't contain the Cherries at the moment. Billing, well, no sooner have I said that, he's gifted the possession straight back down that left flank to Freezer. Freezer will work it forward and take the challenge that comes in from Billing. Just 5 yards Bournemouth side of halfway, and he'll take the free kick for Barnsley. And they opt to take it quickly and ineffectively Lowesley. Slam possession straight back to Bournemouth in the defensive third. The long ball not reaching Cauley Woodrow as it was intended. So we played back from left to right along the Bournemouth back 3 lines. We've seen them do so many times this evening. They're cruising to an emphatic victory. It's 4-0 as we enter the 81st minute. And that change now is about to happen. So Rodrigo Riquelme
is stripped and ready for what will be Bournemouth's third change of a possible 5 tonight. And it's Lewis Cook who's going to be making way. So the central midfielder departs the action. And Rodrigo Riquelme makes his 7th appearance of the season. Callum Britton gets back underway with a Barnsley throw on halfway into Bournemouth territory, and the Cherries work it back up that line. And now Rodrigo Riquelme with his first touch of the ball takes it from halfway up to halfway inside the Barnsley half, scoops it out wide to Smith. Riquelme's going to have it back inside the penalty area, shoots across goal, it's parried by Jack Walton and out and behind for a corner ball. What an introduction to play from Riquelme. Certainly made his presence known, and Walton did have it covered but opted to just palm it down into the turf and out for a corner rather than try and hold it. It was a powerful shot from the substitute. And that same Riquelme sets the ball down far side, the Bournemouth right, for the corner. 81.5 minutes played at Oakwell. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4. Outswinger from Riquelme, drops near the penalty spot, headed clear by Mads Joel Andersen. It's going to drop in the 18-yard box, and it's anyone's ball there, spattering around for it, and it's cleared by Solbauer eventually, who works it up towards Luke Thomas on halfway, but the winger can't control it, and Adam Smith will gratefully feed that one back towards his goalkeeper. Begovic will take this thing out of that one, but his pass is misplaced. It lands in the centre circle with Herbie Kane, who works it out wide right to Britton, and Britton tries to take it inside on the angle. He's fouled by Mepham, so it will be a free kick to Barnsley. 8 minutes or so to play. Tykes trail 4-0 on a difficult evening at Oakwell. And they're going to make another change with their 5th and final one, and Herbie Kane is giving the man making way. And on comes Romo Palmer for his 7th game of the season. He'll slot in to the midfield, like for like swap, former Manchester City youth. We're back underway as Barnsley will work that ball inside to the centre of the Bournemouth half, where Mowat will take a pot shot, and it'll just be a pot shot. It was always going wide of Asmir Begovic's goal. It was a long range effort that never really got off the ground, and the Bosnian will happily watch that skitter away for a dead ball. So 7 minutes to play. Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4 is the scoreline. And it's not flattering at all. It reflects the momentum and the dominance that Bournemouth have enjoyed in South Yorkshire this evening. The goal kick comes along from Begovic. Plays from either side, Rise. It's Barnsley who will win out in their defensive half, but Oduor gives it away right on the cusp of the Bournemouth attacking third, and Smith will take it out wide right. Oduor trying to atone for his mistake, at least presses Smith back towards halfway, where he'll pass the ball to Mepham. The Welsh international will knock it back to his centre-half partners, and they'll scoop it from left to right, and the second ball leaves Lloyd Kelly wanting a little bit. It was a bit short, and Freezer was hammering down on him. It was worked back well, actually, to Begovic, who cleared Bournemouth's lines. So still things that Jason Tindall will want to improve on for Bournemouth. It's been a resounding victory, but it's not been pitch perfect. There have been mistakes that could have been penalised and capitalised upon by Barnsley, but Tykes just haven't done enough to make Bournemouth pay, and Bournemouth are going to have another free kick now as they come forward unabated, trying to impinge again on that Barnsley attacking defensive third, and Sturridge taken down in the challenge by Solbauer, who gets himself a yellow card for his troubles. Body check really that came across one of the Bournemouth goal scorers, and I don't think the Austrian can have any complaints there. Bournemouth in no rush to take the free kick, and when they do, it will just be a short effort out wide to Adam Smith, 30 yards from the byline, and he'll be happy to play that back into his own half. Move from right to left, and Lloyd Kelly from the left back position plays a long ball upfield. It's cleared, and it's the right mess of it made by Barnsley again, who tried to get the ball away with Solbauer. It came straight to Rico, who fished it back in, and he sensed that Jack Walton had actually left his goal line, and so it was hammered back into the Barnsley penalty area. And the deflection from Solbauer only took it into the path of Surridge, who
was closed down immediately by Anderson, but hairy moments again for Barnsley. There's been far too many of them so far this evening, and 4.5 minutes left to play. They're only really fighting for a consolation now, you would imagine, but they've just won themselves a free kick 10 yards inside the Bournemouth half. Dominic Frieser working well to take the ball past Gosling, and he's tripped on his way through. So it will be a free kick to the Tykes. 4 minutes left to play. And good work from the Austrian, 1 of 3 on the Barnsley books. And a chance really given a distance to pump it long into the Bournemouth box. And it's Mowat to stand over it. It's wide on the right, 10 yards in from the touchline. And they'll float it into the 18-yard box where it goes over all the heads, and that of the tall figure of Anderson at that. And it's cleared by Bournemouth. Solbauer will pump it back in, and the same result once again. Mepham heads clear. It's taken down inside the centre circle by Mowat, and Mowat will try and start something, but he's dispossessed on halfway by Sturridge. Will try and feed the ball forward up to Jayden Anthony. Barnsley will dispossess at the back and work it down that right flank for Britton, and Britton senses a red shirt up in the box in the form of Cauley Woodrow, and he whips it in towards him at the back post, but it's not the best ball in the world, and headed clear by Mepham. It'll drop for a midfield battle that Palmer will contest with Anthony, and it's the Barnsley man who's come out on top, and in fact the referee believes that too many arms in that tackle. It's going to be a free kick to the Tykes, 30 yards out. It was just the coming together for the aerial ball, and the Bournemouth manager just to have led with the arm. So a free kick for the Tykes, 40 yards out, 10 yards left of centre. It's chipped in by Palmer, headed clear the first time of asking by Surridge, and helped on its way by Mepham up towards Anthony and Riquelme on that left flank, but Barnsley are there first in the form of Britton. Switch from right into the centre now for Mowat to chip into the box, but there's not enough red shirts up there, and Lloyd Kelly has time to clear it. Makes hash of it straight into Britton and heads away the resulting ball, but only as far as the red shirted Luke Thomas, and Thomas in that right channel works it back up the line towards Britton. Britton trying to cross it in. He finds himself blocked off though by Surridge, and clearance comes back to halfway, so Barnsley back to square one. They'll work it forward towards the edge of the box where Moat will pick it up. Moat will find Thomas in range on the edge of the box. He'll try a curling effort which is blocked into Steve Cook, and Cook will fire a ball across his back line towards Kelly, who will have to clear on the pressure, and does so. But Barnsley now just finding a bit of a second wind, a bit too late in the day, but they have it 30 yards out from goal. Cauley Woodrow is battering away to try and get a shot in. He does so, but it only hits Lloyd Kelly on the centre, on the edge of the box. It'll come back into the Barnsley midfield. They'll work it from right to left. Oduor will have a go now down that left flank. He rides one challenge from Mepham, tries to work his way back to Mowat, who in turn will flick it out to Halmer, and Halmer will try a long cross that was lacking in accuracy. The only man up there really was Luke Thomas. It was straight over his head and out for a goal kick, and that sums up Barnsley's day really. Bournemouth lead 4-0, and they're going to make their fourth and fifth changes of the game as we enter the final minutes of the action. So Philip Billing, who got things started in the 12th minute, he's limping a little bit actually. He must have taken a knock in a midfield battle that we've just seen. He makes his way towards the side of the pitch. Adam Smith will join him. And coming on, you can see the figure of Gavin Kilkenny to make his second appearance of the season. He got a 15-minute cameo back in September against Man City in the EFL Cup. Waiting to see who the second change and final change of the night will be. It's not immediately clear. 15 seconds of normal time to go, I should say, and we'll see the additional time in a moment. The goal kick, though, to come from Asmir Begovic, over halfway. It's pumped long, cleared by Callum Britton up towards Palmer on the edge of the Bournemouth box. It's worked out wide right into the path of Luke Thomas, and Thomas has done well to work it to Frieser, who's on the byline. Frieser will cut it back towards Palmer, who's on the edge of the box, fights to get a shot away, but there's four blue shirts around him, and Mepham will get the better of him, clears the ball along up that line. And again, for Barnsley, it breaks down in that final third. They just haven't been able to find that edge. They trail Bournemouth by 4-0 as we enter what's now been deemed 3 minutes of added time. They'll try and come forward in the hunt for that consolation goal. It just doesn't seem to be coming their way. Rodrigo Riquelme has it wide on the right flank. It's cut inside and into the middle to Steve Cook, and Cook will work it out to Mepham. 20 yards inside the Bournemouth half. Flicked over halfway, dead central in the Barnsley half, where it's headed clear by Mowat. And Oduor stops it going for a throw in, keeps it alive, and that allows Mowat to pick it up in the centre circle and play it out wide to the right. Well, Britton is waiting 10 yards inside the Bournemouth half, but he sees nothing on in the form of red shirts and has to play it back to Michael Solbauer, who resigns to play it all the way back to goalkeeper Jack Walton. And Walton will pump long. Barnsley lose the aerial battle, and it's flicked forward and into the path of Jayden Anthony, who stretches to get on the end of it, but Michael Solbauer was there first and will work it back to Jack Walton. And the excitement and the 4 goals in this game have started to take their toll, and it's starting to peter out to a milder tempo at the end of this game. Barnsley will take it forward again from halfway. They trail 4-0. We're into the 93rd minute, 3 added on. It's worked out to the left. Oduor will fit a cross in. It's palmed away by Begovic and helped on its way by Kelly. There was some venom put in on that through ball coming in. The ground crosser from the left. It was palmed away by the goalkeeper and helped on its way by the centre half. A good insightful ball from the Tykes. You could see that Freeze was arriving at the back post, and so Bournemouth had to be alert, and they were to it. But Barnsley again with the ball in the midfield, in the centre circle with Mowat, tries to thread it forward towards Thomas, who loses out to Steve Cook, and he'll clear. So Bournemouth in possession, 20 yards inside their own half with Dan Gosling. Works it out wide for Mepham. Mepham will play a long ball upfield looking for the young Jayden Anthony. It's just a overhit. And so Walton will pick up at the back and play it out to Halmer. Halmer with a long ball upfield. He was looking for Corley Woodrow. And, Barnsley's top scorer just firing blanks this evening. And that one will go straight up and out for a goal kick, which may well be the last action we see in this Friday night game. It's Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4, and that will be that. Referee Keith Stroud brings proceedings to a close. It's been a whitewash for Bournemouth in South Yorkshire this evening, so they will go into the weekend on top of the league, and it's no less than they deserve. Goals in the 12th minute from Phil Billing, Dom Slanky just before half time, a stunning free kick from Diego Rico just after the break, and then Sam Surridge capitalising on some woeful midfield play from Barnsley with 20 minutes to go. It finishes in the game in Oakwell, Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4. Full time from tonight's game in South Yorkshire. It finished Barnsley 0, Bournemouth 4. The Cherries go top of the Championship table going into the weekend. Goals from Phil Billing and Dom Slanky in the first half were further bolstered by a stunning free kick from Diego Rico just after half time.